10 scary stories you can tell in the dark. Get ready for a spooky night at home with these scary stories. Watch 10 scary stories and tell me which one scares you the most. Story 1. The traveler. A woman driving late at night on a deserted road sees a lone traveler standing on the side of the road. Against her better judgment, she stops and lets him in. As they drive, she begins to sense that there is something strange about him. His eyes glow in the dark, and his voice seems to echo unnaturally in the car. The woman soon realizes that she has not picked up a man at all. Traveler is a demon. Terrified, she tries to get away, but he begins to torment her, using her deepest fears against her. Forced to struggle between life and death, the woman drives through the night as the demon tries to take over her soul. Story 2. Lipstick. While cleaning out her purse, a woman finds a mysterious tube of lipstick that she does not remember buying. It is a deep shade of red, and for some reason, she feels the need to wear it. After she puts it on, strange things begin to happen. She hears whispers, sees shadows emanating from her vision, and suffers from vivid nightmares. As the days go by, the whispers grow louder, and her reflection in the mirror becomes less recognizable. She learns too late that the lipstick is cursed, an ancient magic tool that lures people into madness. Now her grip on reality is slipping, and she must figure out how to break the curse before it consumes her. Story 3. The ring. One day, a woman receives a beautiful antique ring from a distant relative she barely knows. The ring comes with a warning. It brings bad luck to anyone who wears it. Suspicious, she puts it on, and almost immediately, her life begins to fall apart. Her relationships crumble, accidents happen wherever she goes, and she senses is an evil presence watching her. The woman tries to remove the ring, but she can't get it out. In desperation, she turns to an old fortune teller for help, who tells her that the ring is linked to a spirit seeking revenge. The only way to get rid of it is to find the person who originally cursed it and make things right. But time is running out, and the spirit grows stronger with each passing day. Story 4. The shadow in the corner. A young couple moves into an old house they inherited, eager to start their new life. Everything seems perfect, except for one unsettling thing. In the corner of their bedroom, no matter how much light they shine, there's always a dark shadow lingering. At first, they think it's a trick of the light, but the shadow grows darker and more defined as the days pass. One night, the woman wakes up to find the shadow is no longer in the corner. It's standing at the foot of their bed, watching her. The couple learns that the house has a tragic history tied to the shadow that haunts them. As the shadow grows stronger, it begins to influence their minds, driving them into paranoia and fear. The couple must uncover the dark secret of the house before the shadow consumes them completely. Story 5. The doll maker. A little girl finds an old, dusty doll at a garage sale and begs her parents to buy it for her. The doll is handmade, with delicate features and lifelike eyes. But strange things start happening the night the doll enters their home. The girl begins having odd conversations with it, claiming the doll talks back to her when no one is around. Her parents dismiss it as imagination until the girl's behavior starts changing. She becomes obsessed with the doll, refusing to be separated from it. Then, one by one, her toys and belongings start disappearing, and her room fills with small wooden carvings, exact replicas of the missing items. The family soon realizes that the doll maker who created the doll was said to trap souls within his creations, and now their daughter is next. Story 6. The woman in the woods. A group of friends goes on a camping trip deep in the woods, far from civilization. On the first night, they hear strange noise is coming from the forest, like whispering voice is calling out their names. One of the friends swears she sees a pale woman in a white dress standing between the trees, watching them. As the nights go on, the woman gets closer, appearing at the edge of their camp. Each time they see her, something terrible happens. One friend gets injured, another goes missing. The group learns of a local legend about a woman who was sacrificed in those woods centuries ago and now haunts the forest, seeking revenge on anyone who trespasses. Trapped and terrified, the friends must figure out how to escape the forest before they fall victim to the woman in the woods. Story 7. The haunted photograph. While browsing an antique store, a man comes across an old black and white photograph of a family. Something about the image draws him in, and he decides to buy it, thinking it would make an interesting conversation piece. After hanging it in his living room, strange things begin to happen. He starts seeing the faces in the photograph change subtly, their expressions growing more sinister with each passing day. Soon, the man begins to have vivid nightmares of being trapped inside the photograph, with the family staring at him. He learns that the photo was taken moments before a tragic accident, and the spirits of the family are trapped inside, desperate for someone to join them. As the nightmares become more real, the man realizes he must find a way to free the souls in the photograph, or he will become the next victim. Story 8. The mask. A woman stumbles upon an intricately designed mask at an antique market. The vendor warns her not to wear it, but intrigued by its beauty, she buys it anyway. That night, she decides to try it on for fun. As soon as she puts it on, she feels a strange energy surge through her body. The mask won't come off, and she begins seeing visions of ancient rituals and blood sacrifices. The woman soon realizes the mask is cursed, once used by a cult to summon dark spirits. The more she wears it, the more the spirits possess her, taking control of her actions. She must find a way to break the mask's hold on her before it consumes her completely. Story 9. The silent neighbor. A young man moves into a quiet apartment building, where he notices his neighbor, a quiet old woman who lives alone, never leaves her apartment. She never speaks to anyone, and strange noise is come from her unit at odd hours of the night. Curious, the man starts asking around, but no one seems to know anything about her. One night, he hears a loud crash coming from her apartment, and when he goes to check, the door is ajar. Inside, he finds a room filled with old, dusty furniture and the faint sound of whispering. The woman is nowhere to be found. As he explores the apartment, he discovers a series of old letters and photos that reveal a horrifying truth. The woman is not alive, and she hasn't been for decades. Now, she's watching him. Story 10. The basement door. A family moves into a new house, excited about the space and the large backyard. But there's one thing that unnerves them. The door to the basement is always locked, and the previous owners warned them never to open it. Despite the warning, curiosity gets the better of them, and one night, they decide to unlock it. When they step inside, they find the basement is filled with strange symbols carved into the walls, and an eerie, cold presence surrounds them. As they investigate further, they uncover a dark ritual that was performed there years ago to trap a malevolent spirit. Now that the door is open, the spirit is free, and it wants revenge. The family must find a way to seal the spirit back before it destroys them,